All right. This is Painting Platinum. What is it, Justin? 38? I think it's 38. Um, Hi
Yeah, start.
everybody. Howdy, Albevazin, Spoons, Ariscal, Anki. We're continuing to paint the Phoenix. So, let's see. Um, so I've been working with Justin. Hi, GVD Minis. I've been working with Justin on trying to get this color correct. I can tell that, like, I can tell by my hand it's not perfect, but the color looks a lot better. High planar spoons, staved wire. Um, it's not perfect, and I can't tell if I like the light on better. That looks more accurate on my hand. Oh well, we'll do that. So I think where I left off is I did a. I gotta see. That's where Justin. Do you see this? I know Justin's gonna be a little busy and not very active, but are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Shift in color, yeah.
It didn't do it before though. It doesn't.
If
Uh,
you have a if you have a white background, like a white piece of paper, you want to put underneath it, that should give it a constant, like this is white, so therefore it should base it off of that, and it shouldn't change as much. So if you like, you can try that as an example.
See, I put the gray under here. And guys, you can see this first. This is the studio color. It's exciting, isn't it? Big reveal. Um, let's see.
I like gray, but unfortunately, yeah, it's not. So like the gray, well, and actually that's a little too see through,
Oh, it
but
is.
a little bit, yeah. It's not quite. And also, paper towels don't typically, because they're usually made with recycled materials. They're not usually like super white. You need something that's like pure white.
Um, well, I don't think that's gonna work right now. So we'll just bounce back and forth.
Just know that the Phoenix is so hot, guys.
Yeah.
Right? This Phoenix is so realistic that it goes in and out from dark red to orange because the flame is flickering. Right, Sadie?
Yeah. Okay. No, this might be just as bad, but it's watercolor paper. All right.
The printer paper is typically pretty good if you have any printer paper,
I
but
could reach for the printer paper. Okay, so that probably means that if that's accurate, sorry guys, this is lame, but if that's accurate, then the filter I have on it is the problem. So let's see. Anyway,
I'd say your hands look the appropriate color, but
no, my hands aren't that purple. They're not that cool.
a little. Oh, you put a filter on it too?
Well, yeah, because I was trying to like correct it. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Maybe. Let me see.
Looks a little bit better. I don't know what I don't remember what that Phoenix looks like in real life, so you'll have to gauge it. But
Yeah, I'm trying to get it. It's such a pretty color, is the deal with it. So it's like right there. And then, sorry, I know this is terrible. What's gamma? Ooh,
uh, she's usually married to your grandpa,
yeah, gamma.
but Gamma is whoa.
Yeah, sorry. Now my hands look really yellow. Mm. Okay, and then less saturation, maybe. Very interesting stuff. I think that's as close as we're gonna get for today.
Oh, thank you for the raid.
Oh, Hi, Genuine Vision and friends. We're painting 3000, I think it's 3001, the Phoenix. So, let's go back. I'm using Phoenix Red and Crimson Red. Hi, Valender the Red. Everybody. So, this is painting platinum, and before what we've done is we did the Learn to Paint Kit 1 and 2. Now we're kind of on our own, just like floating through space and deciding what we want to paint all by ourselves. Much like we all are in life. We're on our own. Okay, one. Let's do another one there. And I think my shadow was, oh, hi, Frumpy Glass. Got my pendant on today. So I feel like, and like, don't let me announce anything because I'm the last person in the world that should. I feel like we are going to have another Learn to Paint kit for Kickstarter. Spoons says something about a basement full of friends. I was actually saying this week we had a big project that I was talking about with Michael Collins, and I was like, sounds like we need to just lock somebody in a basement to get it all done. I don't want to say what it is because it's not something that anybody was stoked about. It was some complaining about, like, oh, what would the word be? Continuity in, like, images and stuff. Silly stuff. Oh, gamma is a function that relates to the numeric value of the color intensity to brightness. Huh. Justin. Justin's gonna be busy, but is Twitch having problems? It won't let me resub with Prime. Hi, Nomad Zeke. And then somebody else said something about gamma. Let's see.
I am not aware of any problems with Prime in regards to Twitch. I know they recently rebranded it, but I don't know if that caused any issues.
Rebranded what?
Technically, it's not a Twitch Prime sub anymore. It's a Prime Gaming sub. They kind of changed it all up.
Just kidding. Valender the Red says a high gamma makes everything except jet black very, very bright. A low one makes everything but pure white very dark. So much learning. Okay, yes, says Ziwa Z Race. A Bones 5 LTPK was announced in the Kickstarter. It might be Kickstarter exclusive. Yeah, it feels as if it's Kickstarter exclusive. So I'm just adding some water to this. It's, if I did it correctly, it's 2 drops Crimson Red to 1 drop. That might be a little too watery. To 1 drop Phoenix Red, and we're going in and making some shadows. And then I have some like, some reference photos. Let's see what I've got. So what we want, because this, the Phoenix has fire underneath. Oh, it's doing it again. Anyway, is I took some pictures of like the flashlighted mini. It's terrible. Sorry. So this is something I saw in one of Anne's videos. She said if you're trying to get an idea of how you want to shadow and highlight something, just use your light and cast a shadow, and the sculpt will kind of do it for you. So that's kind of where we want to put our shadows. You can see that on the I can't really point to it. Anyway, on the bottom of the feathers, there's no shadow. It's like the top of the feathers and kind of in like a scoop sort of formation. So that's what we're doing. Anyway. Ooh, janitorial got hobby box with drownable paint, good stuff. Yet to find a use for the rose gold. Somebody talked about using the rose gold with the mermaid scale. I don't know that they did, but they were talking about wanting to use them together. Like that'd be pretty neat. Um, I don't know. That's one thing I'm bad at is like actual uses for things. If I can't think of it, I know I've said this before, but um, if I can't think of it, I'm like, oh, that'd make a really pretty robe or whatever. Oh, thank you, Julie Cat. I'm glad you like them. Most of them I just kind of took Ron's direction, and trying to make sure that they were unique. Even though, since they were themed paints, it wasn't as important that they be, you know, in continuing the Bones line, we wanted to fill holes. We wanted something that wasn't there, maybe something that got canceled um, from HD. But with this, I kind of wanted to do the same thing. I was having the most trouble ever thinking of pirate themed color names. Like all the stuff I was thinking of was tropical. It was like, hi, the Calasandra. Um, um, so let me see. Cosmania says, or Casmania says, question for you, Sadie. The clouded sea in the hobby box, was it from the original mix? Because mine seems more grayer and lighter than the original I own. I will have to look at it, but I believe it matches the bottle that I have. That being said, is the bottle that I have matching the original? I'm not sure about that. Um, but I'll take a look. And also, I don't know if this is the case. It's hard to say, but I've got a whole color bar of all the paints, and I feel like if I don't shake something when I try to use it, I feel like it's not the same later. Like it does have a really good shelf life and will last, but you really, I know I've heard Anne say this, you gotta shake your paints. So I don't know what happens to it over time, but I've noticed that. I've noticed sometimes I have to get a new bottle. Now this is old though, and I don't remember what year Clouded Sea came out. Oh, I'm trying to think if the first ReaperCon that was at a hotel, I think was the Cowboy ReaperCon, and maybe like slightly before or after that we had a pirate one. Okay, the resub option finally showed. Had to F5 a bunch, and I tried both the mobile and computer version. Yeah, it might just be being weird. But anyway, as far as the brine one goes, most of the colors I thought of were like coral and I wanted an eel color and all this stuff, and it ended up just being tropical. So Ron came to me with names, and Ron's super excited because before Anne named the paints, but now Ron gets to name the paints because I'm not super crazy about naming them. I always think of little funny names for them. Not always, but a lot of times. They'll have little funny names like the mold. I think it's mold yellow. I think of as Monster Baby Nursery. Yeah, yay for shadows indeed. I don't know what we're giving away today. If we're still gonna give away the yellow, the Happy Kitchen yellow. Yeah, we'll do Happy Kitchen yellow. I worked with something else. Okay, Tasmania said Clouded Sea came out as a triad with Stormy Sea and Seafoam Blue. You know what? I wonder if that's one of the canceled colors. I wonder if that was actually in the MSP core line. Okay, so that's the Happy Kitchen yellow. We're not in a happy place on this, but let me see. That looks better there. I'll swatch it at some point during this. So for every 5 subs, we'll give away a Happy Kitchen yellow. I was trying to make something else, but it's kind of like a middle of the road yellow, and it's pretty high coverage, so I like it. Let's see. Pirate ReaperCon was 2012. Clouded Sea was an MSP color before that. Okay, yep. So it's hard to say. I'm gonna have to look. Actually, when Matt Clark retired, somebody came to me in the internet fulfillment department, because that's right next to us, and said, "Who threw away all these paints? Because it just makes our trash can so heavy." And I looked, and it was all really good condition labels and bottles of all these old, like some of them were discontinued paints, but they were dried out. They weren't shaking their paints, and I think it was Matt Clark. Uh, yes. So my name's Mercedes. So when like my great grandmother called me Sadie, when she spelled it Cede, because that's like in the middle of my name. But I just spell it phonetically because that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I don't think I've ever seen a Sadie that spells her name Cede. Thank you. Yeah, I like it. Um, I kind of go equally by Sadie and Mercedes, just depending on where I'm at. I need the 3 paints from the swag bag, but I don't want the rest of the stuff. Is it still going to be available during ReaperCon? AZ Barbarian, I believe so. I would be very surprised if we ran out of that. And then, so this would be another situation where you might end up getting stuff that you don't want. But the ReaperCon commemorative set number 2 is coming out Black Friday. So if you didn't end up getting them, those colors are going to be, I believe, yeah, exactly, Sharky in the tent, and that wouldn't be as fun. I believe those colors are going to be in the commemorative set number 2, which I have like mixed feelings on, but because ReaperCon is, let's see, not that important for you to look. Was just curious, as plan on setting aside 1 box for extra. Please don't waste your valuable time for a curiosity question. I'm also very curious. So, I did get those in the hobby box, or was that commemorative set 1? Yes, that's commemorative set 1. So then commemorative set 2 is going to have the rest of the ReaperCon colors that are not getting made into Kickstarter colors. I believe I think the Carnival Purple is going to be a Kickstarter color. I can't remember, but anyway, the rest of the ReaperCon colors that are going to be released are going to be in set 2, which is coming out Black Friday. What I kind of had mixed feelings on is that there's going to be the Drown Opal Pink, Sophie Silver, and Rose Gold, as well as the pirate colors. And I thought, well, if somebody got all the boxes, they're not really going to want the commemorative set 2. Obviously, everything is tentative until it's released and announced. But for now, that's what it is. But it has the Thalos in it, which everybody loves. So I figure, yep, the Thalos should be coming out Black Friday in that kit. I don't think they will, oh, yeah, I know, I'm fairly certain there's going to be a Reaper Live. He said something about, I don't know, moving a computer. I think he can hear us. He's just busy.
Yeah,
Um,
I can. What's up?
are you moving your computer?
I'm setting up a computer, a separate computer, yes. But
Oh,
I can answer questions. What's up?
um, well, there's going to be a Reaper Live tonight, right? I would know if we weren't going to have Reaper Live tonight, right?
Yeah,
Yep, Reaper Live at 6. You know what? And like, don't get excited because I don't know anything about the giveaways, but people, every time we talk about the airbrushes, people say stuff about Reaper hairbrush, and I want Reaper hairbrushes so bad. And I actually was browsing, I don't know, one of those websites that you can like put your brand on things. There's different ones, but the one I looked at was like really expensive. They were like $50 hairbrushes. Thinking those better be nice hairbrushes. Yeah, polishing the cat. Um, oh yeah. There are so many little icons I want to do. I have got to get kind of on it, but there's just been so much. Like paint paint will be barely keeping afloat until maybe February or March. I haven't mentioned it to anyone Albeva's in, but I would like them. I was talking to Ed about this last night about how he says Dave's kind of like this too, but I want everybody to have everything. I'm like Santa Claus. I'm like, but they want it. Why can't we make everything? They want it. Um, so, oh, that's a good idea too. The special edition paint set. I think that could happen. Well, depending. Okay. What if we don't have hair? It could be one of those soft brushes, like a dry brush. Hi, Strange. Yeah, we're streaming. We're getting after it. Um, so, oh, we're just gonna be so busy and like busier than busy. But it's cool. But that means that I haven't done a whole lot of creative stuff. Like used to, I'd take my computer home every weekend. I have not done that. This computer's been up here all lonely, all by itself, um, for weeks. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I need to do that. I need a what are they called? Emoji. I'm supposed to get an emoji, but I kind of have to pick something out, and I don't want it to be like unflattering because I'm vain. Something cute. So I'm gonna have to think of something like that. But I've thought of a polishing the cat emoji too. I think that'd be super cute. Some people don't want to see polishing the cat happen, but that's okay. Some people roll their eyes when I say polishing the cat. So I do this thing when I paint. I'm sure other people do too, because this is something I learned about drawing is that there's a difference between drawing what you see and just drawing to draw. So like if you're really into something, like I know the people that are really into like, oh, I scratched off my little paint on my brush. People that are really into like manga and stuff. Um, Art teachers or drawing teachers will usually kind of try and break you of that, so you'll draw what you see. Um, so sometimes when I'm painting, I'll start just kind of winging it, and it ends up not being very realistic, which is okay. Um, but it obviously would be better to paint what we see until such, I guess you paint what you see or draw what you see until such time as you're good enough to have an instinct for what is natural or not. Mm-hmm. So I walked through the new Reaper studio for the first time. It's really big. It actually kind of like made me nervous for some reason. I think it was just because it's big and open. I mean, like not that big, but big enough that I was like, geez, it's really big in here. I don't know about this. Big and gray. And then I thought of all these like fantastic things we could do. Like we could have a band in here, like a live band. Have a weatherman. Be like a whole like a news station. Great. All right. I feel like I'm putting a little too much focus on this outside and I need to get into here. But when you get into there, it's just tiny little dots. I know it's not that tiny because this is kind of a big mini. Let's see. Thanks for having platform painters and products painted. First mini this week. Did the skeleton archer from the starter set and put my own spin on it and paint it as a frozen skeleton. I super like that. So I'm assuming you painted miniatures before. For the most part, I was pretty nervous about venturing out on my own within the kits. Ooh, that reminds me. Justin, you'll probably know, but I think Rhonda is doing a class on the kits, right?
I believe so. Yes. Let me look at the schedule and I can give you the name.
Oh my goodness, Strange, that's awesome. Oh wow.
We're up TPK Paint Along.
LTPK paint along. I think it's going to be on Zoom, right?
Yes, that is Zoom at 6 p.m. on Sunday.
6 p.m. Sunday. And Rhonda, in case y'all didn't know, Bird with a Brush, she is the one who wrote the LTPK. Probably one. Oh, Albeva's, you just started painting a year ago. Oh man, we're all getting there. I had painted before, but kind of painted my own way, and I didn't thin my paints. Which seems like now I'm just like stippling. Probably not the best. This might be a wash place. Oh, yeah, that's awful. Okay, let's do a wash. You don't have to unregister from what I understand. You can just register for all of them if you want. What? I wonder if that messes anything up. Does it? Who said that? Did somebody from Reaper say like, "Oh, hey, you can just register from all of them. You can remove them from your calendar if you wish." So I am doing my time like I'll be doing a presentation class, but more like a presentation. I'll be doing it next Thursday at 1. So I won't be on at 3 as per usual. I'll be doing it at 1. But I think, and I've been talking to Justin about this, I'm pretty sure it's going to be about skin, but I don't know how in depth I'm going to get into it. Basically, just skin from a beauty perspective, possibly a little bit of the science of it and how it relates to the color and features, and maybe a little bit of, I think the most useful thing will be mixing skin colors, which is something I really enjoy. I think that was like my first, like falling in love with mixing color was in kindergarten. We did self portraits, and my grandma actually kept mine. It's my mom always said the thing is scary as hell, but we mixed skin colors. So like you had your plate, and they had the big old pump of, I think acrylic paint. I think it was acrylic paint, and our art teacher showed us. I had this really amazing elementary school art teacher. She's still teaching. She was really into like ancient Egypt, and I kind of credit her for any kind of interest in anthropology and other cultures and religion, because learning about, I mean, if you think about it, you might not learn about other cultures in kindergarten if you didn't have just a really good teacher. So anyway, I had this art teacher, and she taught us how to mix skin color, and it was like different combinations of the primary colors, and I thought that was so cool. So cool. Hi, Max Styles Painting. Um, they said you couldn't reach the capacity. John basically dared us to try. Yeah, Paul John's Life says, sounds like a good reason for a makeup stream. What I actually thought about doing, and I didn't invent this, I saw this on a makeup artist's YouTube, is you can actually, to get a better understanding of your skin tone, now you'd have to have these colors, but what I used is I have a lipstick palette that has some neutrals, some pinks, some purples, then it has red, yellow, blue, white, black, brown. And it's not that it matters, but it's an Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, so that essentially you can, like I was doing weddings at the time, so you can make any lipstick color you want for the most part. So I was like, oh, cool, I have that. I'll use that. Well, when he pulled his out, that's what he was using too, was the Anastasia Beverly Hills lipstick palette. So anyway, what he did was he looked at his skin and he said, okay, so I see the first thing I see is yellow. So we put the yellow like straight on his face and then be like, well, it needs to be a little bit more red. So we'd add a little bit more red and essentially like mix his skin color with primary colors on his face. It was really neat. And it kind of helps you understand just how much goes into skin color. And not only that, since some of this won't necessarily apply to minis, maybe busts, but not necessarily minis, but like features in skin, like hyperpigmentation and hypopigmentation, scars, and lip colors. Like I think Ed talked about, I don't know if he talks about this on stream, but lips and nips. He was like, everybody's got different colored lips and nips. And, you know, that'd be something good. So I kind of thought about colors that flatter different skin colors. One thing I don't have like clear guidance on, I'm assuming it still matters on a really small scale. I think the difference in miniatures is that you want a lot of contrast. So one thing I've talked about is, yeah, stretch mark pink, Dr. Bob, exactly. One thing I've talked about is, oh yeah, so what do they call it? Like draping to find out your undertones and your season. So you can be cool and bright, or cool and muted, or warm and muted, or warm and bright, or you could be neutral, cool, whatever. And how that affects the colors that look good on you. So you guys can probably tell me, does that, when you're painting a miniature, can you paint something with a skin tone and a hair color that doesn't look good together? Or do you find that that's not really an issue? Or like a clothing color? Or for example, like some people can't wear yellow gold. Does that make a difference on a miniature? Like if you used a really cool fair skin tone and use a yellow gold, would that be weird? You know what I mean? So anyway, these are things that I might touch on. But so Justin's like really serious about this ReaperCon, like it's a big deal or something. So I really want to make sure that I stay on time, that I stay pretty concise, and I give the information that I want to give, and so on and so forth. Max Styles Painting says absolutely. Okay, so that might be, oh, what's ReaperCon? Exactly, what's ReaperCon? ReaperCon's that time of year where everybody gets real testy with each other. Except me. I got testy a couple years ago working on Audrey because, oh, great, Albev is in. Yeah, Christmas is like that too. But I got kind of testy because Audrey, our pumping machine, is like the perfect height at my ribs. And I don't have, so some of my people that work on Audrey have really long arms and they can just reach in and do whatever they need to do. I have to get up on a step stool to get it to where it doesn't dig into my ribs. So if I'm up on the step stool, I'm upside down and people come talk to me and I get so crazy. I'd be like sweating, and I try not to get mean with people, but you can probably tell when I'm like anybody else. Like I'm like, I'm upside down. This machine's broken. And also growing up seeing people mechanic by cussing and working. Anyway, the call, Sandra, nobody's stressed, like mad about ReaperCon, but I think what it is that, especially this year, some people have been like, why would you release so much paint? And I'm like, we just want it to be special for people right now, because I knew, I suspected, I was hoping that I was pessimistic. But I suspected that this whole pandemic would affect ReaperCon. I couldn't see any way that it wouldn't, and I knew people were really trying to be optimistic about it. So I thought, I really hope that we'll have a way to do it digitally. And I actually kind of feel bad because I know that a lot of the work has shifted onto Justin and John. John does a lot of it too. Yeah, percussive maintenance. Sometimes the darn thing needs a good thump. That's okay. And Lebrowski says cussing and beating it helps. In IT, we call it agitated engineering. Exactly. So sometimes I have to walk away. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of dark, but it was like my grandma told me when a baby really upsets you and they're really crying, sometimes you just have to put them in their like bouncer or their crib or whatever and walk away because you're really upset and you can't be there for them. So you have to like take a minute. I'm like that with the machine. I'm like, I can't really fix something in an effective way if I'm really upset, so I have to walk away from it, or else like I'll start like doing things a little harder than I should. You know what I mean? Now, what you can do when you're really frustrated is you can really, really mallet a lid on a paint bucket down. You can always do that. That's not hurting anything. Yeah,
By
hype
the
for Justin. What?
by the way, just real quick, because I noticed that Azure Barbarian,
Uh huh.
AZ Barbarian, they said that there should be a virtual aspect to all future ReaperCons. That's actually why we've put so much effort into this one, is because, well, kind of as a spoiler alert here, I would look to there being a virtual presence similar to this one going forward for all ReaperCons, as well as maybe even an additional time of the year. We're talking, it really all depends on how well this goes. So if we have a big attendance, people really thoroughly enjoy it, and we can improve upon the experience, because basically this con is a prototype for us for all intents and purposes. Um, but well, one virtual and one real one, Sharky. We're talking about something like that. Now, nothing is confirmed because nothing is ever confirmed until it is. But yes, that's more or less kind of what we're talking about. So, ReaperCon, I would look for it to be digital, pretty much in permanence beyond this, unless this is a complete and utter catastrophic meltdown,
Or the
like
internet breaks.
or the internet breaks, kind of like the games conference. There's a games conference that started today, by the way, and there's like over 100,000 people watching that on Twitch, by the way, Sadie, and it is having tons of technical problems. Like it is having
Really?
all kinds of lag issues. Yeah, it's rough. But ReaperCon once a month confirmed. Trash. Oh geez, I would have a meltdown right now, just a complete meltdown. Um, but thank you guys, and I am looking forward to next week. I think it'll be fun. But on that note, Sadie, I am going to do a complete restart here on my computer.
What's going to
So
happen to me? Am I going to
you'll be
exist anymore?
you will exist. You will be perfectly fine. I just literally won't. It's like me walking out of the room. Look at it that way.
Man, I'm getting kind of existential today. Kind of
But
feel like what was that movie? Oh,
but you're going to be about 5 to 10 minutes without supervision. Please don't TOS us. Can
you
we
know what'll
agree to
happen? I'll have to start talking about things. Scary
boy?
things. Controversial things. What if I start talking politics? What if I listen to music that's copywritten?
Yeah, don't do that. Actually, that would be, yeah, that's a guaranteed way the bots catch you. So don't do that.
Speaking of bots, I'm not
So
really worried about. You can go ahead and do it.
okay, well, real quick, actually, to Shadow Spawn the assassin, I want to reiterate too that this would not be in lieu of a ReaperCon at any point. This is
Right.
all in addition to, 100% in addition to. There would be no people who are used to attending ReaperCon and everything that it is will get to experience that exactly the way it is. You'll just also have an option to, in theory, check out some stuff on Twitch. So kind of like actual true con coverage, like we've been aiming to do. So, but all right.
Go ahead and do it when you get back. We'll talk about Blade Runner.
Oh, oh, okay. We can do that. That sounds great.
All right. So I'm doing a wash upside down because I want the shadows. I don't know how much it's gonna matter. I think it's gonna matter, but um I'd like shadows up. Um a luau themed ReaperCon twice a month. Yeah, I could sell signed paint. Who knows? Lights a pair of scissors on fire and helicopters around the room. Oh my gosh, it could be anything. Uh Old Blade Runner. I forgot there was a new Blade Runner. And I only saw Blade Runner once. I saw Blade Runner in film appreciation. But Dr. Bob, somebody was having some sub issues. Oh, I love that you streamed the awards part because my wife and kids got to see you win my first gold. It's really cool for me. I love that. Um, let's see. There was a ton of stuff planned for socials and events and stuff. Okay, so I haven't seen the new Blade Runner. Yeah. Uh, I'm sure. Let's see. What year would this have been? 2000. Oh, what year would this have been? 2011, maybe? So if it wasn't out then probably not. But I do remember, I don't know if it was just the age I was at, but uh, that movie kind of, I don't know, it had a lot of important themes in it that I could appreciate. About, what were they called? They weren't, androids? Were they androids? I think they were androids. Thought the brightest paint should be in the crevices. A dark wash defeats the purpose, even though upside down, no. Replicants. Replicants. Um, yeah, you're probably right, actually. I'm gonna go back and dry brush over it because it is getting like splotchy. I think that's from when I was doing this tech, which I don't really think is a tech. Reptilians. Oh man, guys, I think my grandpa's turning into a reptilian. I've never been into the lizard people conspiracies. Uh let's see. Yeah, obligatory phthalo green post, exactly. Um I can't use phthalo green, not even sure how I could use it. So spoons, that would be for mixing. It would also be for, let me see, for transparent. I'm trying to think what I've seen people use clears for. Um, for on transparent minis, creating like a bright or kind of jewel jewelescent. That's not really a term. Single pigments mix the best. Exactly, yes. So clears have like one, maybe two, but I think usually one pigment in them. So you don't get weird results when mixing. So for example, I'm working on, I'll bring this out. It's not very good and I have not worked on it very much, but I want to kind of show you an example. And this is not something I've done on this one, but something I've done with ebony flesh in the past. So it's not going to show very well. Oh, it just looks so dark because I was doing something weird. Never mind. That does give me an idea of how I am experimenting with metallics as highlights in skin in very specific places and layering over them. So my highlights went away. I had some highlights on the skin. But anyway, yeah, my screen made it look like a Tootsie Roll. Makes me mad. Oh well. Um, but what happened to me one time is in makeup, um, yeah, okay, so but spoons, one thing I did do is I made this like sparkle ink, which didn't end up working that well. The flakes didn't stay in solution, whatever. Well, I was playing. But what I wanted to do is somebody asked, I don't remember who, when we were working on the pirate, I used a reference photo of a model who was like, I think he was like greased up, but it was supposed to be like a guy getting out of the water and seeing like the sparkliness of his skin, because skin kind of sparkles, but just a little bit. Like you don't want it too sparkly. And I'd asked Anne about this before, and she was like, "You definitely don't want, in the way we highlight skin in makeup with a little bit of sparkle, you don't necessarily want that on your mini because using metallics as a highlight determines your lighting source. Like, so when you're looking at something and you kind of go up and go down, it's going to move as opposed to like an object source lighting, I guess, and placing it very deliberately. So, so anyway, where was I going with that? So what I wanted to do was experiment with adding a little bit of sparkle to skin, but not having it be blocks of sparkle. So like layering over it, having it in small places, whatever, whatever. Anyway, what I was going to say is when I started working with ebony flesh, I did notice, I was like, this just looks so monochromatic. So what I wanted to do was like in makeup, you do a few years ago, this like classic makeup, but a few years ago, Kim Kardashian's makeup artist popularized this technique where you make a triangle here to here to here, and it's very yellow, and it brightens and it draws the eye in, and it's very, very flattering. So I was like, oh, I'll use this dark skin and I'll use this yellow. Well, the yellow, because of the different pigments in it, mixed with the ebony flesh, and it just made an ashy greenish mess. So, back to what I was saying about the clears, you're going to have less unexpected incidents. Another example, and this is actually a good example that I've done. Let's see if I can find it. Where is... Here it is. So I did this koala. This is one of my early minis from the from when Australia was having the fires, and I used a red. What red did I use? Oh, I don't remember. I think I used one of the red hair triad. Anyway, it turned kind of pink. Um, so the clears, I think I went back over it with brown because I didn't like it. But the clears will be more expected results. And if you have all the clear brights, a nice brown, a black, and a white, you can pretty much mix any color, I think. Anne talks about this a little bit. She doesn't need, obviously, the whole line. She knows now what she needs and what she can mix. It's really cool. So that's what the clear brights are for. But also, if you go to the Facebook, I think the Facebook probably is the biggest resource for works in progress and finished works. But if you go to the Facebook, There are a lot of people that show off what they do with clear brights. Yes. Kim Kardashian also yeah, I don't know what that is. Uh let's see. Trash aroma. I don't know if I addressed this. For real though, I'm in love with Doxy Blush and Shark Bite. Hands down, two favorite go-to colors. I am so glad because Doxy Blush was one of my ones I just absolutely suffered through. I made so many versions of it. One thing that helps me a lot is that I mix a lot in really small amounts, and I mix a lot using what we already have. So I can kind of make lots and lots and lots and lots of swatches before I kind of mix something. Maybe one day I'll show one of those. But I had all these ideas. The idea of Doxy Blush was, I'll wait for Justin on this, on the definition of Doxy. But it was supposed to be like a blush. So strange. There's works in progress on Discord, but there's also, I think there's a finished one. I'm not sure about that, but I know it's there though. Oh, I just got lost. Oh, okay. Doxy Blush was supposed to double as, oh, thanks, Davros Dave. Doxy Blush was supposed to be a good scar color. Oh my gosh. I looked at so many pictures of scars. New scars, old scars, and different skin tones, and this and that. And that's a whole nother, that could be a whole class on its own, is pigmentation of different skin tones. How different skin tones and I guess you would call it levels, darkness and lightness, like value of skin, how it looks different. But anyway, I just went so crazy over it. And then I have this really bad habit because I'm so new. I'm like the newest manager and definitely the newest creative, I think. I have this habit of going to everybody and be like, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And then different people think different things, and then I just confuse myself. So anyway, I'm glad we landed on a good Doxy Blush and Shark Bite, even though Shark Bite kind of raises eyebrows. A lot of times people are like, what do they say? It's like, well, it's not really, like I would expect it to be either blood or, I'm going to take this out and see if this works better. I would expect it to be either blood or shark color. So my idea with that was, I hate that. We're going to fix this, I promise. I'm jaundiced. It's a different skin tone, skin condition, malady. Anyway, so I wanted the Shark Bite to not be so grayed out because, as I've heard, especially recently, brighter colors are more useful. But I'm trying to think of a different word. Either way. Let's see. I guess. Okay, so I'm going to prime again. I don't think we've hit the sub requirement. We'll wait for Justin on that too. I don't think so. I think we've hit 2. We'll have to ask Justin. So I did prime the bottom, but I think because I've been picking it up. Yeah, subs have been kind of wonky. Oh, hi, Skelsey. I don't know if I said hi to MC the cat. I meant to. I've just been, I'm so off the wall today. Every day. Well, thanks, Lebrowski. Hi, Francis. Yeah, hi. I have that bad habit of like remembering stuff later. I haven't forgotten about you. I have to swatch so much stuff for you. We talk about having a swatch, like a swatch section of the show. Um, let's see. But anyway, I don't know when that's going to start because everything's just been nuts. So essentially, uh, just as like a window into paint department, we segment. That's what I was looking for. Swatch segment. Um, Essentially, what we've had to do is I've had to keep up mixing for both internet orders and for Kit Shop, but we've only had enough labor to pump for Kit Shop because Audrey's in the shop. We're getting an Audrey too. Uh, let's see. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the sub stuff. I think it's just a weird day. Um, but yeah, so anyway, I've been busy. We have so much paint everywhere. Like the place where Audrey used to go, if you've toured, I've made an Audrey size paint bucket fort in that area. Like Hi Scott Beale, there's too many to line up where I usually line up the restock buckets. So anyway, it's been crazy and not stressful crazy, but just not enough time. Like I'll realize I haven't been on Discord in a while. Just things like that. Okay, so I'm repriming, and then I need to find something to attach this to. So I usually use this little jar. I mean, it's a big jar, but it makes this too tall. Huh. Yeah, Twitch is wonkier than usual. Justin was talking about uh, some game. I think it was like an online con. It was bad. It shows my bad listening comprehension. But that Twitch is being wonky, essentially. Gamescom. Yeah. September. What's September? Liberalski. This is the brush on primer, by the way. I made myself a big old jar of brush on primer. Because when I swatch paints, I like to do the watercolor paper with primer over that. I don't know if that makes it better, but it feels like it does. No, that's not true. It probably just means I had like six other things going on in my mind if I didn't listen. It's kind of like when you read and you're like reading a page and then you realize like, oh my gosh, I've just been like looking at the shapes of these letters for for like 10 minutes. Um, Gamescom is streaming on Twitch, YouTube, and several other outlets. I think Gamescom themselves are just having tech issues. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I simultaneously tune things out and like can't tune things out. Like I have this thing and I know other people have this where more than one thing going at a time drives me crazy, but then other things I can tune out. But I'm getting less tolerant in my as I age, I'm getting less tolerant of like noises and stuff. Um, but I will do that thing where I will think about saying something or I will notice something and I won't think about it till later and I'll think, oh yeah, I noticed that. Usually, like, I'll want to compliment somebody on something and I don't think about it until later. I really wonder, I don't know, kind of what we're doing to our minds, having everything be just so fast and so um, just so busy. Like not just with our I mean here in the United States and probably other places as well. I know not everywhere is like this, but our work culture, everywhere is different. But I think that compared to some countries, our work culture is a little, like, I won't say worse, but different. Just more work, less home stuff. Um, and I wonder if that's part of what, I don't know, part of what happens with us not being as focused. I mean, I know for a fact some people aren't very focused anyway, but I think a lot of it also is just that there's so much going on. Unbalanced, yeah. Um, I'm really bad at work home, like, what do they call it? I think it's work home balance. No, 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 like work life balance. I think it's work life balance. I'm really bad at that. So I will kill it at work and just really struggle at home, or vice versa. Like I'll be doing really well at home and not as well as uh, I am at work. And it reminds me, like nature or nurture, I'm not sure, but my mom really killed it at work. Um, and when she wasn't working all the time, would do like the mom stuff. Like I remember her really enjoying. She took a year off when I was in like fifth grade. She'd make me like the most badass lunches, and she was like really into it. And we played we played Ocarina of Time together. It was really neat. So like she'd make my lunches and whatever, whatever, and I'd get home from school and we'd play video games, and I could tell it was like you remember those old TVs that were like wooden on this like wooden base? She'd like sit in front of that. I could tell like my mom's been messing around on the Nintendo, but anyway, she was either really like never a bad mom or whatever, but um okay, so not yet on the hashtag free. We might have like one or two more to go, and we're giving away the Happy Kitchen Yellow. Now, whenever Justin gets back, I'll ask him how many subs we've got. I think he has to open it, though, even. And I'm starting to wonder, I'm starting to get anxious he's not coming back. That is not what color this is. This is terrible. That's closer to the color that I wanted to make this. I'm obsessed lately with really high coverage brights. Not like clear brights, but like bright, intense colors. But this is kind of orangey. Just a little orangey. This color situation's giving me the sads. But hopefully you guys will just bear with me. And soon we'll be in the studio. I'll be. I considered streaming from my office forever because it gives it a different vibe, but I'm over it. I'm ready for it to be Justin's headaches. Any subs? I don't remember what Justin says they're called now, but the Twitch, the Prime subs, and gift subs, regular subs, any subs, 5 of those, and I know we've had 3, but I think we've had 4, so we're almost there. No, Dr. Bob, not that. Um, do you guys prime the bottom of your minis? I know not all minis have this, but y'all do that. It's almost like painting all the way around your canvas. When I see a canvas somebody paints where they don't like continue wrapping around the canvas, it makes me sad. I don't like it. What? Oh, thanks, Josie RK. I feel like I feel like I got a sub just from you wanting to sub. It really is the thought that counts. Uh yeah, it is always covered by the mini. Uh nope, and nobody does this except during Archon, Sophie says. Oh. Spoon says if it's a resin I do, prime it, or if it's a really old metal, I would, because resin old metal might need to be sealed. Interesting. Samurai Jack wants a brown chicken, brown cow. That's a good one. And I think that would actually be really useful. So I know a lot of people like turkey brown. People love their browns. I was talking to Ed about colors that are really useful and that you really like, but you really don't use that many of. And for him, he said it was browns. He had so many browns, and he didn't end up using them very often because they were for all different things. I kind of want to. Walnut brown's the best brown of all time. I just made walnut brown and blackened brown, and they are so nice. You can't see it now because I've taken all my highlights out doing my weird layery stuff, but I used walnut brown with ebony flesh on the bust I was working on because I'm trying to make like the deepest, most like accurate, lifelike skin tone. There's a beauty YouTuber. Oh, I can't remember her name. She came up on my YouTube reviewing darkest foundations, and she has the most beautiful, just deep, deep skin. And I was watching her video, and her skin on her face, like anybody else, her skin on her face was deeper than the skin on her neck, which is deeper than the skin on her hands and arms. It was just all different. And I was like, no, this is something that's a really nice study in painting skin, which is what I'm most excited about, which is what I want to get the best at. Except when he painted his trebuchet, he used a lot of brown then. Yeah, exactly. Walnut brown is the only color I've ever needed to reorder because I used every drop. That's good to know. Julie Cat says, wait, there are colors other than brown. Yeah, exactly. Oh no, Dr. Bob. Ooh, Darren Latham has an amazing video on painting skins. I'm gonna watch that. Intense brown. What is it Anne said that people were talking about on her stream? Dubious brown. Baby poop brown, I think. Okay. So I'm like tempted to do something that's probably not gonna work on this. So let's look at this flame. I don't remember what it was exactly. Yeah, it's that one. But I have to... Oh, I know. So this is a really small picture, so it's not going to be very good. But this is the color flame I want to do. Just imagine him under here. I think it was Dr. Bob. Dr. Bob, was it you that pointed out last time that the blue in this is just the Bunsen burner, that the green is the flame? So different, what's it called? Different metals, different chemicals burn different colors, and I don't remember which one this was. I don't remember. Shoot. It'll be on my Google searches. I was really excited because I barely ever use this computer, or whatever your favorite search engine is. Oh, it's red. I mean, it's John Overton and Ed. Let's see. Actually have a bottle of baby poop secret weapon paint. What? I didn't know there was a secret weapon baby poop. Don't do that since you have orange down. Make a classic flame. You think so? Okay, so let's switch things up a little bit. Now it's just driving me crazy because I don't remember what kind of flame that was. So whatever we're gonna do, I think I want to put a yellow down. And I'll use the Happy Kitchen yellow. I think I have an open Happy Kitchen yellow. It's not that color either. It's not this color and it's not that color. So basically, I'm just in hell. Yes. Is this thing standing on a rock or is it bursting through flames? I know there are flames. I just don't know where flame meets rock. Um, Also, with things like this, I kind of wonder if we use our imagination sometimes if we don't know. Somebody posted, I think it was a pirate. Somebody posted a pirate and was like, "What is this? Is this a piece of her clothes?" Oh, all flames. Okay. Um. Ooh, Spoon says it's actually standing on a whole bunch of crab rangoons. Exactly. See, that's the kind of creativity you need. So I got this brush. It's the 4 flat. I think it was like dry brush or whatever. But somebody mentioned a flat brush for large areas. So anyway. And like, oh, another thing is I don't know what color their feet are. Now that I'm thinking about it, this might not even be the best flame base coat, but I'm going to do it anyway. I think it's close enough to, let's see, lantern. We have a lantern yellow and we have a, gosh. Yeah, panache. I haven't been the best painter. Um, let's see. My latest order came with a really pretty teal similar to Robin's Egg Blue with some green mixed in and a shiny new glossy label that said sample on it. Yep. So I don't know what all. I'm trying to think. You know what? That might be 9489. I don't remember what it's called. But I think it's 9489 Siren Song. I think it's 9489 Siren Song because when Ed got the new labels, he was looking for stuff to label, and I was like, well, when we make too much of something, I'll keep it in the department. And I was like, well, I got this big old tub of Siren Song, and I can't remember if we decided to do it or not. And then, just other things. So lately, our samples. So because we've been so busy, we haven't been specifically pumping samples. Um, we've been taking what would have been dollar paint and labeling it as sample and giving it away. Oh no, I-Fi paints. So our labeling has moved outside of the paint department, and everything is pretty structured here. We only have so much room for a paint. So when there is too much, does that say Garrity? What does that say? I'm gonna have to figure out who sculpted this because I feel like that says something or else I'm crazy. I hate that I can't read that. Anyway, um, people are always like, oh my god, what do I do with this? So I just hide it in the department when we make too much. And I've instructed my people to do the same. Yeah, I wonder if it is Garrity. Labrowski, that might have been Oops All Berries. I can't remember. Okay, so the thing about Oops All Berries, and this was like my favorite, like one of my favorite moments with Sarah, who's oh, there you go, Sandra Garrity. One of my favorite moments with Sarah, who's John's girlfriend. She mixed also, and Sarah, for whatever reason, was better at getting the paints to come out per formula first time out. So, for whatever reason, she's very talented at mixing, and she's a science lady. She works in a lab, But when she worked here, she was really good at mixing. So one day I mixed clear purple, but it wasn't really clear purple because we got, I don't know, we got a wrong base, like a mislabeled base or something. So anyway, like we were saying before, the clear brights are not supposed to have a whole bunch of different pigment in them. I hate, this is gonna not be the happiest thing, but I hate sampling things. I would rather make them work. I'd love for you guys to have samples, but I hate admitting defeat. So, I made it work. I made it the color of clear purple. This was pretty early on in my learning to mix here at Reaper. And so I made it work, and I was like, oh, that's so weird. This doesn't really work. Sarah, you try one. And she made one too, and it was kind of weird. So I tweaked both of them, and then she tweaked both of them. And Anne came in. She's like, oh, no, that matches. What did you have to add to make it match? And I was like talking about all the stuff I added. She was like, oh, dear God, like that can't be, that's not a clear anymore. So that's not it. So thus, Oops All Berries and Oops More Berries were born because I made a whole batch of it and then Sarah made a whole batch of it because I was confident it was just that I messed it up. I do, so now, because people get so attached to samples, I do try and save it and name it. There will be some that I won't be able to recreate, namely, I don't know if Grazietta's in here, probably not, but Grazietti sent me a copy of a paint that people really liked on Facebook, and I've been trying to recreate it, and then I realized, oh, I'm going to have some samples that are really close to that, and if I have people emailing or writing in or talking on social media about how they want me to recreate that, it'll be like a sampleception of like, oh, I accidentally made this sample trying to make this sample, and it'd be too much. So for the most part, I try and keep them so that I can recreate them. And now I have the super spiffy small formulation method, which it really isn't that big a deal, but I was like, I never really thought, I was like, oh, I can formulate in milliliters. One of my favorite samples is a blue similar to retro slate. Oh. I know those retro, I think those retro colors, we don't make the flake, have the flake for them anymore. So, I don't know what that was. I did make the retro blue steel, but I don't think we ever sampled that out. I think we gave it away on the show. It could be really old. I don't know when a retro slate was originally made. But you know what? We remade it for... What was that? Did we have... I'm trying to think if it was for ReaperCon or if it was for when we had the arcade. But we made the retro colors. Somebody can probably help me. I don't think it was the year that our Pathfinder kit was ready. That was from ReaperCon. Okay, yeah. Yep, retro emerald. I like the retro gold silk a lot. It reminds me of, it's not the same color, but it reminds me of the Beauty and the Beast dress. Yeah, retro red. I think Anne had a video where she used 9100 pearl white, or talked about using pearl white to make your own whatever color metallics. Oh, I have a siren song here. I wonder, my colors look not great, but it's a little more green than this siren song. I bet that's what it was, the sample you got. Sample similar to nut brown. I think I hear a John again. I'm getting nervous something happened to Justin. He didn't make it back. How are we going to end the stream if Justin doesn't come back? Okay, sky's clear. I think that the palette is closer to life, but it's still not. No. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. The answer is no, bones aren't the same as HD in formula, but the bones colors that were HD are the exact same. As much as possible. Yeah, over time. Yeah. I think I've kind of worked him to the point where it's 4:30 always. But anyway. Whatever. What did I get? I got a little primer on there. Okay, so let's look at this. Number one, it looks like a McDonald's and it makes me sad. Let me see if I can't like just do a little adjusting so we can first we'll do the palette cam. And we'll try and get that Happy Kitchen yellow. No, no, no. No, no. It's closer to that. Maybe less saturated. Maybe warmer. Not that warm, not that cool. That's a lot closer. It's still not perfect, but that's a lot closer on the palette. And then slightly greener than Surf Aqua and slightly lighter than Marine Teal. No, Retro Gold Silk. I'm pretty sure that Retro Gold Silk we can't make again. And in fact, like we don't have one of the ingredients to it, and I don't know what it is. Okay, so iFi paints, I can't remember, but I think, I mean, I can think of the color that cactus flower is. It's like a magenta, and I think it's pretty clear. I don't think it's like high coverage. Coral, yes. I thought about having similar to a discontinued coral get brought back for the pirate kit, but it ended up just being a tropical kit that I thought up. So we made more pirate stuff. Like, why have you got to look like Ronald McDonald? That's closer. We're almost there. It's probably about as close as we're gonna get. Yes. Huh. The plan is, yes, that the cactus flower will be in there. Uh, that's cute, Dr. Bob. Um, okay. So anyway, we might as well keep painting if we're gonna be on here. I'm just so offended that this looks like Ronald McDonald red.
Can you hear me, Sadie?
Oh, there you are. I thought you died.
No, actually, hold on.
He might be dead yet.
Just 1 second.
Just kidding, that's dark. That's not good. Yeah, you can probably figure out all the colors. I'll even remember, like, I remembered a sample that Anne and I were mixing, and I used the wrong pigment, and I remember exactly what it was. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, because I had a minor computer meltdown, so I'm actually on my phone for Discord right now.
What? See, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
I told people, I was like, what's going to happen if he doesn't come back? How are we going to stop the stream?
Oh, I got it all. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
The only difference is my mic probably sounds horrible because it's coming from my phone.
It wasn't horrible, but it was quieter. I blamed my computer. Let's see. Need a Reaper contest to name new colors. That'd be fun, too. Oh, Spoon says there's going to be spicy chicken nuggets. I like the old weird chicken nuggets, though they don't taste as good as I remember when I was a kid. Oh, McRib. One of my favorite moments ever, I was from the Osbournes era MTV, like I think way past the music went away, but that was like when I liked MTV was the Osbournes. And I remember Jack Osbourne one time getting really excited. He was like, McRib is back. And Kelly made fun of him a whole lot. And I always thought that was so cute because he just had such genuine joy. I've never had a McRib, but yeah. But I was like, I love seeing somebody so happy about anything. As the McRib. You ever eaten a McRib, Justin?
I think once in my life, and it was pretty awful. So
Is it like, I imagine they just take meat and they put it in like a Play-Doh press that's like the shape of a rib.
Correct. That's about right. Yeah.
Trasharama has reported us because we haven't tried the McRib. I haven't tried the McRib.
I've had one before. I just don't like it.
Let me tell you what I've tried, and this is getting out there, is I've tried one of those fish sandwiches. I like fish, but I forget that like fish sandwiches aren't really fish. But sometimes I'll be like, I don't even know what I want, and I'll get a fish sandwich. Sometimes a little weird. Oh, they removed the dark meat nuggets, and I think they changed the recipe for the white meat nuggets. Okay. Ooh. Well, I was in college when their marketing was now made with real chicken, so maybe that's the change. Scary. Oh, it's pork. Meat, says the Shadow Raven. Oh.
Speaking of which, Sadie, it's 4:33, and I think I need to get these problems sorted out before Reaper Live.
I think you're right. And my throat kind of hurts. I think I've been talking too much.
I mean, you had to kind of carry the whole episode.
I was about to say my back hurts.
Yeah, you did a good job. I'm
Thanks.
sure not mind. At least.
And you know, actually, no, I hope it's not COVID. Woo. I got COVID problems. In fact, okay, so I'll end it soon, Justin, don't worry. But my boyfriend had COVID, and his mom brought him over one of those. They're like chair shaped. You put them behind you in bed to like prop you up, and it's like really fluffy and nice. And when he was sick, he sent me a picture of it, and I was like, why would she give you something so porous that you can't wash when you have COVID? So then whatever, I went to his house a couple days ago, and he has one of those love sacks. Have you ever seen these love sacks? But it's an old one, so it's not like the new love sacks are like a tower. They're like tall and really fluffy. Well, this one isn't that fluffy. And his old house it was tiny. So no, not that kind of love sack. I-Fi paints. His old house was tiny, so the love sack would be next to him, like right close to him, but up against the bed. Well, now he's got a bigger bedroom, which is like everything I always wanted, but I can't sit by him and have the support. So I was like, man, I wish I had support. And I was trying to like engineer a something under the love sack to give me a back, and he like went and grabbed that thing, and I was like, that thing your mom gave you when you had COVID, like no way, I can't touch that. And it was months ago, but I just can't. uh i have I have anxiety. uh Doesn't even matter. I won't get into my scary theories my anxiety creates about germs, but uh anyway. Anyway, I'm nervous about COVID and I don't think I have it. I check my temperature a lot. Not that it matters. You don't have to have a temperature. But we're all just pretending. We're all just trying to make ourselves feel better. Right, Justin?
Uh, yes.
We're going to make it, guys. We're going to make it. So, on that note, in real life, this does not look like Ronald McDonald. Justin, I don't know how many subs we've had, but I feel like the people deserve a Happy Kitchen Yellow. I almost called it Yummy Kitchen Yellow, which we call it that too. I feel like they deserve it. They need it. They need a Happy Kitchen Yellow. Can you open the free? Can you do this? Can you do the stuff?
Let me see.
Oh, also, like subs aren't working on the stream, on the Twitch.
They aren't?
Intermittently. I've had multiple people complain that subs are being weird. And so I just want to say that I think we would have gotten like 15 subs if it weren't for Twitch.
Okay. I will do one giveaway.
One giveaway. We couldn't push you for two?
Fine. I'll do 2 giveaways.
Yes! All right. So we're giving away 2 Happy Kitchen Yellows. It's not this color. It's prettier. It's more like this. It's more like that right there. Let's see this bottle over here. So hashtag free it. It's open. Yeah, that's pretty close actually. I don't know why this. Maybe if I move this, maybe if I use this camera for the mini, it'll be better. And then my palette can look like Ronald McDonald. We'll figure it out before next week because we've got to. Are you going to be really busy Monday and Wednesday? I know that's a stupid question.
Wait, what did you ask?
I asked if you were going to be busy Monday and Wednesday, but now that I think about it, I really don't think that there's anything we can do. I might do what we planned on doing last week and just not have a palette cam or have the palette in the frame like I used to. We'll figure it out.
Are you talking about for your show on Thursday?
Mm-hmm. Thanks, guys.
Well,
What?
it's entirely up to you. I mean, really.
I'll figure it out. I'll do some thinking. Y'all look out. I'm doing some thinking.
Uh-oh.
So they're hashtag free, and I gotta tell you guys something really cool that I've started. So on Reddit, there's a fountain pen subreddit. And oh, Spoons, you're the best. Y'all are the best. Liking my stream. Started writing with fountain pen, and I love it. My handwriting is so much better with fountain pen, and I'm so surprised. Hasta la pasta, Dave Dwyer says. You're very welcome, Skelsey. Oh, I like that. Sadie is the best. That's very sweet. But anyway, I love fountain pens, and I expected my handwriting to be really gross and terrible, but I love it, so I'll show off my cute fountain pen. It's like a not fancy cross pen. I love it. Look at that. That's so neat. I might just be like easily impressed, but I love this pen. got this idea from somebody on the subreddit where they said when they got frustrated, they said they do it in work meetings, but I don't get frustrated in work meetings. But writing down curse words, I like writing curse words with a fountain pen. It makes me feel like fancy to the highest degree. I don't know if this is just marketing because I don't remember where I read it. I don't remember if I read it on like the Cross website or if it was on something else, but I read that your pen slowly like forms to the way you write. Yeah, it is a chunky. It's a thick. Uh oh yeah, I'm gonna swatch that. I'm gonna write fudge. I don't even know how to spell fudge sickle. Fudge sickle. Anyway,
Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, I'm ready to draw the two names if you are.
I'm ready.
All right. Let's see here. All right. Our two winners are Lazoral, I think it is, and David Dwyer.
Oh yeah. Good job, guys. Y'all get a happy kitchen yellow. So like one more thing, so we're talking about cursive. I'm not like the big fan of Billy Madison, but my favorite part of Billy Madison is when she has him writing in cursive and he can't do the Z. Do you remember that?
I have not seen Billy Madison in an incredibly long
Because
time.
what's a Z? Is that a Z? And he couldn't do it, so he kept doing this like it was the hot teacher that was like trying to make him look like a hole. Anyway, cursive. I love cursive.
Oh, you don't have to. You don't have to claim this winning.
Oh, cool. You only have to claim it if it's the airbrush, apparently.
Correct.
Anyway, well, I guess we'll end it, guys. We'll see you back at 6 for Reaper Live. Hopefully, we don't have any problems. Send us
Yeah.
good energy.
All right. We're gonna be rating Zambies.
All right, let's raid Zambies. I like Zambies.
I do too. And the next time you guys see Sadie, don't forget she'll be doing her thing for ReaperCon, so you don't want to miss it.
You'll see me
It'll be a
tonight at
big
6,
show.
but that's true.
Well, you know what I mean. The next time it's you by yourself.
And thank you for the feedback on my ideas. So yeah, it'll be great. That's okay, Rings Raccoon. We love having you here. All right. We love you. We'll see you at 6.
Thank you guys very much. Have a great rest of y'all's day.